Let's investigate what is the object complexity in SQL Tran. How do we measure it? Why do we need to measure it? And how do we represent it in the statistics? So right below the object lifecycle statistics, we'll see two sections dedicated to the complexity. One is complexity of objects grouped in 6 groups from very simple to extra complex. And then we also have these helpful most complex objects in the code base. Now, how do we actually determine complexity? We determine it by this number, nodes. What does this represent? So if you have, for example, this procedure called testPro, called date and time function in our demo database here, we see it has 73 statements, 142 lines of code. In real-world databases and code bases, you'll see procedures that can take 10, 20, even more screens of complex selects. So such procedures may have, for example, just few statements, super large merge or super large select somewhere in there. So code complexity is not represented as a number of statements. It's not even represented as a number of lines of code because different teams use different way to write code. So let's go and click our most complex objects and expand the code panel here. We list all of the statements inside. All of these are actually pretty simple. Now, if I go and select, for example, some view, let's go, for example, to this one. So this is a simple thing, right? It doesn't have a lot of lines of code. It has exactly one statement, right? So select with unions. So as a number of statements is simple, but as a number of nodes, if you expand, okay, so now you see the complexity looming inside. And still this is pretty simple, but I want to keep this simple for this explanation. So you see that create view contains 3 joint query specifications, right? Each of them has a list of items in select and then distinct over function and so on and so forth. That's why we use this metric when we calculate what the complexity for translation actually is going to be.